Andrew French from Eltham in London, Julie Cuthbertson from Watford, Mark Pickles from Leamington Spa, Andrew Tipping from Whittle-le-Woods in Lancashire, Neil Richardson from Abbots Langley in Hertfordshire, David Townsend from Swilland in Suffolk, David Thompson from Luton, Ruth Swan from Cramlington in Northumberland, Maureen Neves from Carlisle, Charles Newson from Beckenham in Kent, Tim Glynn from Oldbury in the West Midlands, Jim Robertson from Guardbridge in Fife, Kevin Appleton from Bedford, Helen Mosey from Llanelli, and Michael Daly from Slough are all here to play 15 to 1, presented by William B. Stewart.
Thank you. Hello. We don't have a winner with us from last time today, so we'll start with the finals board, on which there are two names, Roger Keeble and Aziz Feshetan, at numbers 3 and 4, who were in the grand final of the last series. And they're certainly going to be in it again this time. And David Scott is again the target. Off we go. And we begin with Andrew French from Eltham in South London. Andrew, which knighted British rock star celebrated his 60th birthday in July by attending a dinner at the British ambassador's residence in Prague?
Paul McCartney.
Sir Mick Jagger. Julie, please. Finance and taxation. CGT is the abbreviation for which tax?
Capital gains tax.
And Mark, please. Toys and collector's items. Which range of now highly collectible model toys was first produced by the Meccano Company in 1934 as accessories for the Hornby zero-gauge trains?
Dinky cars?
Yeah, dinky toys, yes. And Andrew, please. Medicine. Stomatology. Stomatology is the study of diseases affecting which part of the human body?
Stomach.
The mouth. Neil, please. A picturesque holiday destination, the island of Ischia, lies in which bay off the coast of Italy?
The Bay of Sicily.
The Bay of Naples. David, poetry and television. Taking its title from one of his poems, the BBC television drama Love Again, earlier this year, featured which English poet played by Hugh Bonneville?
Chaucer.
Philip Larkin. David, please. Still Philip Larkin. His 1955 collection of poems, The Less Deceived, takes its title from a character in Hamlet who claims that she was the more deceived. Which character in Hamlet?
Sorry, don't know.
Ophelia. Ruth, please. The European Union. The Schengen Agreement is an accord dealing with what issue within the European Union?
I don't know.
Border controls. Maureen, please. Film directors. The Irish director, please, whose films include Michael Collins in 1996, The End of the Affair in 1999, and The Good Thief in 2003.
I don't know.
No? Neil Jordan. Charles, please. Food and drink. What's the name of the soup derived from the Tamil for pepper water? A rich meat or vegetable broth, highly seasoned with a mixture of Indian spices.
Vichyssoise.
Mulligatawny. And Tim, please. Sporting nicknames. Which great England footballer of the 1950s was nicknamed the Preston Plumber because he ran a plumbing business both during and after his professional football career?
Tom Finney.
And Jim, please. History of US politics. The name, please, of the American politician who controversially claimed in 1950 that there were 57, quote, card-carrying communists in the State Department.
Truman.
No, Joe McCarthy. And Kevin, please. Communications. The telephone number 08457 48 49 50 is the number for national inquiries about which service?
Rail.
Yes, railway timetables. Helen, please. The Roman Catholic Church. What name is given to a mandate or decree issued by the Pope and stamped with his seal?
A bull.
Yes, papal bull. And Michael, please. One of the major sales of its kind in the world, what are sold at Tattersalls?
Horses.
Yes, racehorses, bloodstock. Your second question, Andrew. Civil aviation. In terms of passenger numbers, after Heathrow and Gatwick, which is Britain's busiest airport?
Stansted.
No, Manchester. Julie, please. The USA. Four Corners is the only place in the United States where 4 states meet. Arizona is one. One of the other 3, please.
I have no idea.
Colorado, New Mexico and Utah. And Mark, please. Public houses. The emblem of St. Peter is often used as a pub sign. What emblem?
The Red Lion.
No, crossed keys. Andrew, please. A septuagenarian is a person in their 70s. What term is applied to someone in their 80s?
Octogenarian.
Indeed. And Neil, please. Comics and magazines. The name, please, of the heavily armed, violent law enforcer whose adventures appear in the sci-fi comic 2000 AD.
Judge Dredd.
David, architecture and education. The Sainsbury's Centre for the Visual Arts at Norwich, designed by Sir Norman Foster, is part of which university?
University of London.
University of East Anglia, Norwich. David, please. English law. The Right Honourable Lord Phillips holds what position in the Court of Appeal?
Master of the Rolls.
Yes, he is Master of the Rolls, OK? It is a wouldn't it? Ruth, sport. In which sport did the Italian Giacomo Agostini win a record 15 World Championship titles between 1966 and 1975?
Motorcycle racing.
Yes, motorcycling. And Maureen, please, Greek mythology. In Homer's Odyssey, which Ionian island was the home to which Odysseus was trying to return?
No,
No?
don't know. No.
Ithaca. Charles, politics. Chairman Mao had his little red book. Which current African leader set out his third universal theory of governing in his so-called little green book?
Robert Mugabe.
No, Colonel Gaddafi. And Tim, please, business and commerce. My word is my bond is the motto of which British financial institution?
Stock Exchange.
Yeah, London Stock Exchange. And Jim, please, financial legislation. On the 1st of October 2003, it increased from £4.20 to £4.50 per hour. What did?
The minimum wage.
Yes, national minimum wage. Kevin, Istanbul. Which palace in Istanbul was the residence of the sultans of the Ottoman Empire until 1839 and is now a famous museum?
Don't know.
The Topkapi Palace. And Helen, please. Acting families. Joe, Paul, Mark and Stephen. 4 acting brothers, much seen on British television since the 1980s. What's their family name?
No.
No? McGann. Michael, science fiction, space travel. 2001, A Space Odyssey. 2010, Odyssey 2. 2061, Odyssey 3. And 3001, The Final Odyssey. The author, please.
Arthur C. Clarke.
Indeed. That's 4 down, 11 to go, and those 4 must now leave us. And Laura, please.
And those eliminated are Andrew French, David Townsend, Maureen Neves and Charles Newson. And the remaining 11 contestants, 2, still have their 3 lives intact.
And we start round 2 with Julie at number 2. The first correct answer we can start nominating. And we begin with word connections, Julie. What 2-word phrase connects a domesticated cavy, commonly kept as a pet, and a personal thing used for experimentation? Guinea pig. Mark, please. English counties. Although it's in a London borough, Kingston upon Thames is the administrative centre for which English county?
Surrey.
It is. And a number, please, Mark.
Number 14, please.
The Scottish composer Lindsay Davidson is writing an opera, first performance due in 2004, thought to be the first in which traditional instrument has a leading part?
Bagpipes.
And onwards, please, a number.
7, please.
Which company has advertised its electrical household goods with the long-standing slogan, the appliance of science?
Zanussi.
And a number, please, David.
Number 12.
Which is the United Kingdom's only independent university?
The Open University.
No, the University of Buckingham. Again, David.
Number 3, please.
Mark, give me but one firm spot on which to stand and I will move the earth. A quote from which 3rd century BC mathematician and inventor?
Archimedes.
And number, please, Mark.
Number 13, please.
What term used for a type of theatrical entertainment is derived from a Greek word meaning imitator of all?
Mime.
Pantomime. Again, please.
Number 12, please.
Which Scottish town was in 2002 the last to be granted city status? Stirling. Again, please.
Number 8, please.
Fictional detectives. The name, please, of the 12th century monastic sleuth who features in a series of novels by Ellis Peters.
Brother Cartfile.
And a number, please, Ruth.
15.
In international paper sizes, the A series of numbers, A3, A4, for example, is for writing paper, books and magazines. The B series is for posters. What is the C series primarily used for?
Colour print.
Envelopes. Again, please.
2.
What type of whirlpool bath is named after its Italian-born American inventor who devised it for his arthritic infant son?
Whirlpool.
No, the jacuzzi. Again, please.
4.
In which Wagner opera does the eponymous hero, a knight who keeps his name a secret, arrive in a boat drawn by a swan? Huh? Lohengrin. Again, Ruth, please.
7.
Veterinary science, David. What's the alternative name for the infectious disease, equine distemper, which affects horses and donkeys?
Sorry, don't know.
It's strangles. It's a respiratory condition. Again, Ruth.
11.
Usually pressed into small blocks. The name, please, of the Greek cheese, cured and stored in brine.
Feta,
And a number, please, Tim.
14.
What three-word rhyming phrase is used to describe teaching methods used in the 1950s, particularly relying on the use of the blackboard?
Chalk and talk.
And onwards, please.
Number 5, please.
Which line of latitude is the largest possible great circle round the Earth?
The equator.
And the number, please, Neil.
13.
And Kevin, please. Classic radio comedy. Which series, it ran from 1964 to 73, featuring John Cleese, Graham Garden, Tim Brooke-Taylor and Bill Oddie, was a precursor to I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue?
The Goonies.
No, I'm sorry, I'll read that again. Again, please.
Number 4, please.
In which sport do players compete for the Rodman Wanamaker Trophy, a major championship named after the department store magnate who donated it? Golf. It's the USPGA. Again, please, Neil.
Number 3, please.
In the grounds of which house in Windsor Home Park does the mausoleum of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert stand?
No, I'm afraid I don't know.
Frogmore House. Neil, please.
Number 7, please.
In the 1780s, the French brothers Joseph and Etienne were the first to demonstrate a hot air balloon. What was their surname?
Montgolfier.
And onwards, please.
15.
According to its constitution, what denomination is the National Church of Scotland?
Presbyterian.
And number, please, Michael.
8.
C.S. Forester's The African Queen is set at the outbreak of which war?
The First World War.
And the number, please.
Number 11.
From the Greek meaning shape, what word describes the visual special effect used in multimedia and computer games in which one image gradually turns into another?
Metamorphosis,
No, same sort of idea, but it's called morphing. Again, please.
3.
Railway stations. Which major London terminus, built on the site of the London Smallpox Hospital in a district formerly known as Battle Bridge, was named after a monument to George IV?
Charing Cross.
The other one, King's Cross. Again, please.
Number 5.
What is odd about the gender of the varieties of holly, Golden Queen and Golden King?
It's male.
Sorry?
They're opposite gender to what they say they are.
Yes, indeed. It's the Queen's the male variety, the King is the female. Again, please.
7, please.
Which major cataract in Africa has a local name that means the smoke that thunders?
Ethiopia.
The Victoria Falls. Again, please, Neil.
Number 8, please.
Which close-fitting one-piece garment incorporating trousers and a sleeved top is so named because it was modelled on a similar garment worn by parachutists?
A jumpsuit.
And onwards, please.
Number 14.
Which ballet composed by Adolphe Adam concerns the rivalry of Albrecht and Hilarion for the love of the peasant girl after whom the ballet is named?
Giselle.
And number, please, Helen.
Number 11, please.
The minimum velocity at which an object must travel in order to overcome the gravitational pull of a planet is known as what velocity?
escape velocity.
And number, please, Tim.
Number 5.
Who in 1761 was the last British sovereign to claim at his coronation to also be King of France?
George III.
And a number, please.
15, please.
What word, meaning excessively harsh, is derived from the name of an ancient Athenian legislator whose code of laws was notorious for its severity? He was Draco. The word is draconian. Again, please.
8, please.
Which play by George Bernard Shaw features the characters John Tanner and Anne Whitefield and is subtitled A Comedy and a Philosophy?
I don't know.
Man and Superman. Neil?
15, please.
Fogo Caldera in the Cape Verde Islands, Semeru in Indonesia and Fuego in Guatemala. What specifically are they?
Extinct volcanoes.
No, I'll take volcanoes. In fact, they're active volcanoes, but volcanoes is what I wanted, so yes. Okay, onwards.
8.
Which composer's music plays an integral part in the films Brief Encounter in the 1940s and Shine in the 1990s?
Tchaikovsky.
Rachmaninoff. Again, please, Michael.
5.
In the Anglican Church of Ireland, there are 2 archbishoprics, Dublin and which other?
Cork.
Armagh. Again, please.
11.
The name, please, of the ship that brought the first organised party of Caribbean immigrants to Britain in 1948.
Empire Windrush.
On we go, Tim.
14.
What's the family name of the Earl of Strathmore and Kinghorn, the family of the late Queen Mother?
Gosh.
Bowes Lyon. Again, Tim.
15.
Which raucous children's television series of the 1970s and 80s featured Chris Tarrant, Sally James, Lenny Henry and the Phantom Flan Flinger?
Tis was.
And the number, please?
5.
The French painter Henri Rousseau, who died in 1910, was nicknamed Le Douanier, referring to his former profession as what?
A customs official.
Oh. When you've got your breath back and I've got mine back, give me a number quickly.
14.
Norse mythology. The name, please, of Odin's 8-legged horse who could travel across both land and sea. Yeah? Sleipnir. Well, we did get there eventually, and it is 12 down, 3 to go. And after the break, Neil Richardson from Abbots Langley in Hertfordshire, Tim Glynn from Oldbury in the West Midlands, and Michael Daly from Slough will be here for the final. Do please stay with us.
Alone again, Sanjeev?
Nice, thank you. Such a greedy boy.
For an unsecured personal loan of up to £25,000, call Lombard Direct on 0800 2 15,000 or apply online at lombarddirect.com.
The ultimate Elton John collection. 45 unforgettable songs from a true superstar.
This is the song, and it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind.
The special edition now includes the #1 hits. Sorry seems to be the hardest word with Blue. And Are You Ready for Love?
Are you ready for love? Yes, I am. Are you?
Elton John, greatest hits.
I was walking through reception at work one morning. I never noticed the floor.
The 3 surviving contestants in today's 15-to-1 final are Neil Richardson, a teacher from Abbots Langley in Hertfordshire, Tim Glynn, a retired computer manager from Oldbury in the West Midlands, and Michael Daly, an unemployed heating engineer from Slough.
Thank you. Welcome back. Neil, Tim and Michael, put your fingers on the buzzers and we'll make a start with a question on logic and problems. On a map or any graphic design with multiple regions marked on it, what's the minimum number of colours required to colour it in such a way that no two adjacent regions are of the same colour? Neil?
4.
It is. Mathematics, which is the only integer that is neither positive nor negative? Tim?
0.
It is. Quotations, which political institution did David Lloyd George describe in 1909 as, quote, a body of 500 men chosen at random? Neil?
House of Lords.
Indeed he did. Name connections, Sir Alexander, the bacteriologist. Ian, the writer. What's there? And Michael, please.
Fleming.
In heraldry, the term coward is used to describe an animal in what position? With its tail between its legs. What word can be used to describe a striking blow, a mixed drink containing fruit juice, and a tool or machine? And Tim?
Punch.
Yes. Who is the only 20th century British monarch to have been both the Duke of York and Prince of Wales? Neil?
George VI.
George V. George VI was just Duke of York. And on we go, please. Will you please look at this? This crest belongs to a Midlands football club. Michael?
Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yes, indeed. On we go, please. According to a famous proverb, man's extremity is God's what? Opportunity. Theatrical terms. What two-word term, also the title of a Michael Frayn play, is used as a stage direction when sounds... Neil?
Noise is off.
Indeed. 3 correct answers. Neil, the choice is yours. Question or nominate?
Nominate Michael, please.
Science, chemistry. There are 4 naturally occurring elements whose names begin with the letter M. 2 of the 4, please.
Mercury.
And? No? Magnesium, manganese and molybdenum. And again, please, Neil.
Nominate Michael again, please.
Which town in Kent, the nearest to France, was used during the Second World War as a headquarters for the planning of the Dunkirk evacuation?
Dover.
And question or nominate?
Neil, please.
With which form of syncopated music, evolved by black American musicians in the 1890s, were Tom Turpin, James Scott and Scott Joplin particularly associated?
Ragtime.
Question or nominate?
Nominate Tim, please.
Tim, Latin phrases. The literal translation, please, of the romantic Latin phrase amor vincit omnia.
Love conquers all.
And question or nominate?
Nominate Neil.
Which fairground attraction, requiring a metal floor and electrically charged ceiling, was introduced in the 1920s in rides called gadabouts?
Dodgems or bumper cars.
Yes, indeed. Onwards, please.
Nominate Michael.
Michael, the peerage. The stylised leaves of which fruiting plant are depicted on the coronets worn by dukes, marquises and earls?
Grapes.
Strawberries. Again, please, Neil.
Nominate Michael again, please.
Michael, look at this, please, and tell me. In office from 1991 till 1992, this was the first woman to be Prime Minister of France. What's her name?
Don't know.
Edith Cresson. You have to leave it, Michael. And Neil, I'm back with you. Question or nominate?
Nominate Tim, please.
Cricket. In affectionate remembrance of English cricket, which died at the Oval on the 29th of August 1882, which famous nickname for a sports trophy resulted from this notice in the Sporting Times?
The Ashes.
And question or nominate?
Nominate.
Which 19th century poet, the son of a famous headmaster of Rugby School, was himself a school's inspector?
Matthew Arnold.
And question or nominate?
Nominate.
I want a Christian name and a surname, Tim. Earlier this year, an army major, his wife and a college lecturer were convicted of cheating on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I want the major's name, first name and surname.
It was Charles, but I can't remember his surname.
He was Charles Ingram. And again, please, Neil.
Nominate.
Centuries, Tim. Handel composed Messiah, Hogarth painted The Rake's Progress, Fielding wrote Tom Jones. All in which century?
18th.
And question or nominate?
Nominate.
Under the Parliament Act of 1911, what's the maximum length of time between general elections in Britain?
5 years.
Question or nominate?
Nominate.
Classic British television, Tim. Which British comedy series of the 1970s used John Philip Sousa's march, Liberty Bell, as its theme tune?
No.
Tell him, Neil.
Monty Python?
Yes, indeed. Now, question or nominate?
Nominate, please.
And Tim again. Farm animals. Which farm animal has breeds called Cheviot, Columbia, Corriedale and Cotswold?
Sheep.
Question or nominate?
Nominate.
Will you please look at this and tell me, this is the logo of which major company whose brands include Marmite, Birdseye and Purcell?
Unilever.
And question or nominate?
Nominate.
Popular fiction, Tim. In an Alistair MacLean wartime thriller, later made into a film starring Gregory Peck and David Niven, a team of commandos attempted to destroy a battery of guns at a Greek fortress. What was the fortress called?
Navarone.
Yes, Navarone, yes, indeed. And question or nominate?
Nominate.
Measurement. What term, meaning a hellish place or a place that is burning fiercely, is also used in science to mean the temperature inside a star equivalent to 1 billion Kelvin?
Inferno.
And question or nominate?
Nominate.
History of boxing, Tim. Who is the only world heavyweight champion to have retired undefeated, having won every one of the 49 fights in his professional career?
Rocky Marciano.
And question or nominate?
Question.
Hydrography is the science of charting which areas of the Earth?
Oceans.
Yes, water-covered areas. Question or nominate?
Nominate.
Shakespeare. In Henry IV, Part 1, Prince Harry kills the rebel Hotspur at the Battle of Shrewsbury. But which of his companions finds the body and tries to take the credit?
Full stop.
And question or nominate?
Nominate.
English law, Tim. What one-word legal term can be defined as, quote, the failure of a person to surrender to the custody of a court?
Absconding.
Yes, and on we go, please.
Question.
The Bible. The name of which biblical character means father of the multitude?
Abraham.
Question or nominate?
Nominate.
Mottos, Neil. In English or French, please. What's the national motto of France? Liberty, equality, fraternity. And again, Tim?
Nominate.
Look at this, please, and tell me, this former England cricketer was crowned the King of the Jungle when he won the second series of the ITV programme, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. His name?
Michael Atherton.
Phil Tufnell. You have to leave it. I have to tell you, Tim, I think that young man, or at least I thought that young man was going to see you off.
So did I.
I think you did. Right, on we go, 112. There's a long way to go, but let's see how far you can get. William Shakespeare was the Bard of Avon. Who was the Ayrshire poet?
Robert Burns.
19th century literature. Charlotte Bronte. Bertha Mason is the insane first wife of which character in Jane Eyre?
Don't know.
Mr. Rochester. Well, there you are, Tim. 122, a winning score, no place on the finals board, but it's been nice having you back here. Well done.
Thank you.
Stay there. And we'll be back tomorrow. See you then.
Salvage Squad is at 8 o'clock tonight. Restoration is the name of the game. Countdown is next.
Sell crazy someplace else.
They get the best lines.
Never, never interrupt me.
They get the best parts.
I'm crazy about Tiffany.
And the best outfits. Why? Because they're stars.
That's how you become great, man.
Every night in December at 10, Film 4 celebrates the faces with pulling power.
Thank God you're here.
It's my duty to please that booty.
A month's worth of films with the stars you love to love.
How do I look?
Sexy, sexy.
So to get Hollywood's finest in your living room, call Film 4 now on 0800 44 1234.
Do you dream in chocolate? Then discover Lindor, crafted with passion and perfection by Lindt's master chocolatiers. When you break its shell, Lindor's lusciously smooth center starts to melt. And so will you. 150 years of our passion, all for that one moment of yours. Lindor from Lindt.
Cliff at Christmas. All his Christmas hits and 8 new tracks, including the new single, Santa's List. Celebrate this Christmas with Cliff. Cliff at Christmas, out now.
Buying property is an expensive business, right? Well, how about a small hotel for £17,000, a place in the Suns at 4? Live at 5, John Thompson, star of Cold Feet, is hanging out with Richard and Judy.